The Golden State Warriors are heading into the offseason with a clear priority: find players who can shoot from deep and play fast. That philosophy has shaped their entire approach to the trade market this summer, and it has now led them to a familiar name, one who has proven he can do both when healthy. Hey, what's up, everyone? Before we jump into everything today, that like button right there is what decides if this video hits hundreds or thousands of people. 1 second is all it takes, but the impact on this channel is massive. Go ahead and hit that like button right now. Seriously, it's the simplest thing you can do, and honestly, the best way to back this content up, because every single like pushes us further. So hit it now. Aaron Gordon, the veteran forward from the Denver Nuggets, has emerged as a player the Warriors should be watching closely. USA Today's Marcus D. Smith identified Gordon this week as a potential offseason target for Golden State, noting that Denver has made him available and is actively shopping him in trade discussions. Gordon is 30 years old and carries a contract worth around $133 million. He is not the flashiest name on the market, but he brings something the Warriors value enormously: the ability to stretch the floor from the perimeter. This past season, Gordon shot 38.9% from beyond the arc, a mark that put him right in line with Stephen Curry, who connected at a 39.3% clip from three-point range during the same campaign. The fit, at least on paper, is compelling. The Warriors want to play with pace and space, and Gordon fits that mold. He can handle the ball in transition, set screens, defend multiple positions, and, increasingly over the last few years, knock down shots in the corners and above the break. Those are exactly the kinds of skills that translate in head coach Steve Kerr's offensive system. It is worth noting, however, that no direct link between the Warriors and Gordon has been reported through official channels. Smith's column frames a connection as a basketball logic argument rather than a confirmed negotiation. Still, when a player of Gordon's profile becomes available and the team that could use him most is actively hunting for shooters, the conversation tends to gain traction quickly. The biggest concern with a potential deal is availability. Gordon missed 46 games during the 2025-26 season due to injury. That is a significant number, and it comes on top of a track record that has seen him miss stretches in previous seasons as well. The Nuggets, reportedly, are using his injury history as partial justification for moving him, essentially framing him as a luxury they can no longer rely on given where their roster currently stands. Curry himself dealt with his own injury problems this past season, missing 39 games. If both players are frequently unavailable, the Warriors will be taking a significant gamble by committing the assets required to land Gordon from Denver. And yet the talent argument is hard to dismiss. When Gordon is on the floor, he is a versatile, switchable defender who can guard wings and bigs, a rim runner in transition, and a reliable catch-and-shoot option from the perimeter. For a team trying to extend its championship window around a 38-year-old Curry, adding a player of Gordon's two-way capability would provide meaningful help. The question Golden State's front office must answer is simple but not easy. Is the risk worth the reward? Gordon's best basketball may still be ahead of him if he can stay healthy, but that caveat has become the defining feature of his career in recent years. The Warriors will need to weigh how much they are willing to give up and how much uncertainty they are willing to absorb in order to bring an impact player like Gordon to the Bay Area this summer. Denver, for its part, appears motivated to move on. The Nuggets are facing their own offseason questions, and Gordon's salary and health history make him a candidate to be dealt as the team recalibrates around its own core. That creates an opportunity for Golden State. Whether the Warriors take it will depend on their appetite for risk and the asking price coming out of Colorado. The Warriors enter this offseason with limited draft capital and a narrow window to compete at the highest level alongside Curry. Every decision carries weight. Adding Gordon could be a masterstroke, or another costly gamble on a player who cannot stay on court long enough to make a difference. What makes the Gordon conversation more interesting is the broader context of Golden State's offseason. The franchise has several needs heading into summer: front court depth, perimeter defense, and reliable three-point shooting chief among them. Gordon checks at least two of those boxes on his best days. He is not a pure shooter in the mold of shooting specialist, but his ability to operate in the pick and roll as both the ball handler and the roll man gives the Warriors offensive dimension it currently lacks. There is also the matter of age and trajectory. At 30, Gordon is not a young piece to build around, but he is not in decline either. Players with his skill set, switchable defense combined with improving perimeter shooting tend to age more gracefully than pure athletes. If Golden State can structure a deal without gutting its future entirely, bringing Gordon aboard for 2 or 3 competitive seasons alongside Curry could represent exactly the kind of calculated risk that defines contender-level roster building. How aggressively the Warriors pursue him in the coming weeks will reveal how serious the organization is about one final championship push in the Curry era. The Golden State Warriors had a shot at one of the most promising young guards in the NBA, and they let him walk right into a rival's hands. Now, as Jared McCain lights up the Western Conference Finals for the Oklahoma City Thunder, the conversation in the Bay Area has turned uncomfortable, and deservedly so. McCain, a 22-year-old shooting guard, was selected by the Philadelphia 76ers with the 16th pick of the 2024 NBA draft. The Warriors, who held no first-round pick in that draft, watched from the sidelines. When Philadelphia put McCain on the trade block after just 1.5 seasons, Golden State reportedly had interest, but ultimately chose to hold their assets rather than pull the trigger. Oklahoma City did not hesitate. The Thunder acquired McCain for a package that included 1 first-round pick, now confirmed to be the 21st selection of the 2026 draft, along with 3 second-round picks. It was a modest haul, the kind of deal the Warriors could have matched. They did not, and they are almost certainly thinking about that decision now. In Game 3 of the Western Conference Finals against the San Antonio Spurs, McCain scored 24 points on 10 of 21 shooting. It was not a fluke performance. It was the latest example of a young player delivering when the moment was biggest. For Warriors fans watching, it was a difficult reminder of what might have been. Reports from Jason Dumas and Sam Esfandiari indicated that McCain had an impressive pre-draft workout with Golden State. The Warriors liked him before he was even drafted, and it is not hard to see why. McCain grew up idolizing Stephen Curry, models his game after the 2-time MVP, and shoots the ball at a 38.5% clip from three-point range through his first 2 professional seasons. In many ways, he is exactly the kind of guard the Warriors system was built to elevate. The connection between the 76ers and the Warriors also had a specific shape. Philadelphia was reportedly interested in Brandon Podziemski at the 2026 trade deadline, and the best young player they moved in that window was McCain. It is not difficult to piece together that a Podziemski for McCain swap was at least explored, whether the price was too high, the fit too uncertain, or the Warriors simply too cautious. They did not get the deal done. Some analysts would argue that Podziemski has more long-term upside. Others would say McCain, given his offensive instincts, shooting ability, and comfort with high-leverage moments, has the better future of the two. Watching Game 3, it was hard to make the case for the former. The deeper issue is one of opportunity cost. The 2026 draft class is considered one of the strongest in years, and Golden State holds the 11th overall pick. Getting a player of McCain's caliber in the mid to late teens of that class will be a challenge. The Warriors may find someone promising, but replacing the specific combination of shooting, playmaking, and competitive toughness that McCain already displays at 22 is not easy. There is one name being mentioned as a possible comparable at Golden State's current draft position, Braden Burries of Arizona. Burries measured 6 foot, 3.75 inches at the draft combine, giving him a slight size advantage over McCain, who stood at 6 foot 2. Both are shooting guards who project best as secondary ball handlers. Both are excellent perimeter shooters. Burries, if available at number 11, could offer a slightly better defensive profile due to his extra height and length, but there are no guarantees. Burries may be gone before the Warriors are on the clock, and the draft is never a certainty. What Golden State passed on with McCain was a known commodity, a player already performing at a high level in real NBA games, in a real playoff environment, on a real contender. The Warriors can still find their answer in the draft or through other trade avenues this summer. But the McCain situation serves as a cautionary tale about the cost of hesitation. When a young, high-upside player becomes available at a reasonable price, the organizations willing to act fast tend to be the ones holding hardware. Oklahoma City understood that. Golden State did not, and they may feel that missed opportunity for years to come. It is also worth considering the broader personnel picture in Golden State right now. The Warriors are trying to maximize the final years of Curry's career while simultaneously building toward a post-Curry future. That balancing act makes every roster decision more complicated. Trading for McCain would have required giving up assets, but it also would have given the Warriors a young cornerstone who could develop into a franchise player once Curry eventually steps away. Instead, the Thunder now have that player. Oklahoma City, already one of the youngest and most talented rosters in the league, adds McCain to a group built around Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. The gap between the Thunder and the Warriors grew a little wider the moment Philadelphia shipped McCain to Oklahoma City instead of San Francisco. Golden State's front office has been creative and aggressive in the past. The McCain situation suggests a more cautious approach has taken hold, one that may not serve them well as the clock ticks on Curry's prime. The summer ahead presents new opportunities, but how the Warriors respond will define the next chapter of the franchise. The Golden State Warriors are preparing to make the most aggressive move of the Stephen Curry era. According to multiple reports, Golden State is among the teams expected to pursue Giannis Antetokounmpo aggressively if the Milwaukee Bucks decide to put the two-time MVP on the trade market before the 2026 NBA draft, an event that is now just 1 month away. The situation in Milwaukee has been building for months. Bucks general manager John Horst has made the organization's position clear. Giannis will either agree to sign a contract extension in October, or the team will explore trading him. ESPN's Shams Charania has reported that Milwaukee could move the 31-year-old superstar before draft night, potentially triggering one of the biggest blockbuster deals in recent league history. Several teams expressed interest in Antetokounmpo before this past season's trade deadline, and the Warriors were among them. Golden State's pursuit was not a passing curiosity. It was a genuine organizational priority. The reasoning is straightforward. The Warriors had another disappointing season. Their championship window with Curry is narrowing by the year, and adding a player Giannis' caliber would immediately transform a franchise back into a legitimate title contender. The trade package being floated on Golden State's behalf is substantial. NBA analyst Jake Weinbach outlined a potential offer that would send Jimmy Butler, Brandon Podziemski, the Warriors' number 11 overall pick in this year's draft, a 2028 first-round pick, a 2030 first-round pick, and a 2032 first-round pick to Milwaukee in exchange for Antetokounmpo. That is a massive haul of assets, one that would essentially gut Golden State's future depth in exchange for a chance to compete for a championship right now. The package raises several complicated questions. Would Milwaukee even want Jimmy Butler? The veteran forward turns 37 next season and is coming back from a torn ACL suffered last year. His $56 million contract is an expiring deal, which helps match salaries, but his age and injury history make him a questionable fit for a Bucks team that will be trying to rebuild. Podziemski, at least, represents genuine youth and upside on a team-friendly contract, something the Bucks could use as a foundation for the next phase of their roster. The draft capital portion of the offer is where things get truly interesting. Milwaukee holds a 10th pick in this year's draft and would also receive the 11th selection to propose trade, giving them back-to-back lottery picks in what is widely considered one of the deepest draft classes in years. The 3 future first-round picks, meanwhile, gain value with every passing month, as Curry's eventual retirement will almost certainly push Golden State into a rebuilding phase that produces higher lottery assets. Despite all the complexity, the basketball case of the Warriors pursuing Giannis is easy to make. Curry, even at 38 years old, remains one of the most dangerous offensive players in the NBA. His gravity, the way defenses are forced to chase him and leave driving lanes open, is unmatched in the league. Pairing that gravity with a 6'11" forward who can attack the basket will draw fouls at an elite rate and defend multiple positions would create one of the most difficult offensive combinations any team has put on the floor in years. When Giannis is healthy and motivated, he is still a top 5 player in the world. Curry, even in the twilight of his career, is not far behind. Draymond Green, the Warriors' defensive anchor, is also aging, and the roster around him has been inconsistent. Adding Giannis would immediately solve the team's front court problems, provide a go-to scorer in a half court, and give head coach Steve Kerr a genuine second star to pair with Curry, something Golden State has lacked since Kevin Durant's departure years ago. The key variable, as always, is what Milwaukee wants. If the Bucks prioritize draft capital and salary flexibility above all else. The Warriors' package is competitive. If they want proven young players who can help them compete while they rebuild, Podziemski's inclusion helps but may not be enough. Other teams, including those with more young talent and more flexible cap sheets, will also be in pursuit. What is clear is that Golden State intends to be a serious player in this sweepstakes. The Warriors are not content to rebuild quietly. They want to make one final, decisive push with Curry on the floor. Landing Giannis Antetokounmpo will be the most dramatic way imaginable to signal that the dynasty is not finished and that the Bay Area is still very much in the business of winning championships. The next few weeks will be pivotal, with the draft approaching and Milwaukee facing a deadline of sorts on its Giannis decision. The pace of trade discussions is expected to accelerate. Golden State's willingness to offer 3 future first-round picks and multiple young players tells you everything about where the franchise stands mentally. All in, deadline approaching, no time to play it safe. Whether the Bucks respond favorably remains to be seen, but one thing is certain. The Warriors are coming to the table with everything they have,